Set up the camera. Shalom. I am not used to being in front of the camera this much, I guess in this type of way, so little shy. But I wanted to make a video, Q&A video, just because, you know, I post encouragement videos and songs, but I feel like a lot of people don't really know me that well, and you know, I don't consider myself a teacher or anything like that. I just consider myself a brother, an ach. I just want to be a brother to the community the best I can, hopefully. And so, you know, to be a brother, you kind of have to know me. So I just posted on YouTube and Facebook for siblings to ask me questions in the hopes that, you know, people can get to know me. And hopefully I can esteem Yahuwah as well. So let's see how it goes. So the first question is from a beloved brother that I love a lot, and I'm not putting the names on these just because you know, for privacy's sake and out of respect for that. But so I don't remember who asked what, but I do remember this question specifically from a brother. So the question goes, so I'm not sure if you did your Q&A video yet. I didn't. Doing it now, but yeah, anyways, when he sent this, it was a few days ago. So let me start over. So I'm not sure if you did your Q&A video yet, but here's my question. What is your go-to scripture for giving the good news, and how has that impacted your life personally? So for me, I don't know that I have a go-to scripture when I'm trying to give the good news. I usually just like ask Yahuwah to help me speak, and then usually what flows out sometimes helps me, so that's why I feel like really confident in asking Yahuwah for help on speaking to people. But I don't know that there's a go-to scripture, and at this point I feel like there's so many great scriptures that it's hard to say which one is my go-to or my favorite, or which one has helped me out the most. I do like the scripture, paraphrasing, where it says, while we were yet sinners, Messiah died for us. And I think that's great because it shows Yahuwah's compassion and his love. Although we've fallen short and we fell short of his esteem and we missed the mark and we were enemies against him in our works before knowing him, before coming to truth, he still loved us enough to send his son to die for us. So I think it's great. But hopefully that answers. Next question is, when did you come into truth from being falsely indoctrinated by Western culture? So for me, I grew up Catholic. You know, I love my mom a lot. She's trying to seek Yahuwah the best she can right now as well, so I praise Yahuwah for that. And that's an answered prayer and probably a whole testimony in of itself. But you know, growing up, I feel like a lot of our parents didn't really know better. So I feel like they were just doing the best they knew how to help us out as children. So I feel like she put us in communion thinking that she was doing good by doing it. But of course, anybody who's familiar with the Catholic Church knows you know, there's some elements that were similar to scripture, but not in its fullness. Definitely has the Catholic spin to it. And ultimately, although there's some truths in it, half-truths or partial truths in it, it's definitely not the truth. And so when I grew up, I was just a straight heathen. I still had it in the back of my head that there was a creator, but for the most part, I was just living my life the way I wanted to. And then in 2017, I remember being on Facebook and I saw this post that was saying something about the eclipse, and I think it was tying it back to like end times and how this is a sign, and it freaked me out. And so I didn't know anything about Yahuwah. I didn't know anything about Yahusha. 2017, I believe I want to say I was 18 in 2017. So I was pretty young, and I was just scared. So for me, I was trying to search for the truth for about, I think I want to say maybe a month or so. Just freaking out. So scared. It was a very troubling time for me. And I remember going to Christian websites, because again, I didn't know the truth. I didn't know any of this. at the time, and I was trying to find my answer about the end times and all these things in Christian websites, and it just made it even worse in my opinion, because they were talking about the end times and all these things, and it was just freaking me out even more. And I was trying to read the scriptures at that time. I think I read through the book of Genesis, and it's a really awesome thing because back then I didn't understand anything. I really don't think I understood much at all, because I thought Genesis, if I remember correctly, I thought a lot of Genesis was just about a farmer in the mountains. It went over my head completely. So they got to a point where I was just so terrified, so scared, so troubled, that I just kind of repressed it in my head, and I just went back to being a heathen, not even trying to seek anything about the truth. Just so terrified that I just couldn't handle it anymore, and I didn't want to think about it anymore. So for about a year, I was just living my life, just being horrible. And then I remember I had a friend who was seeking Christianity, and his doctrine at the time was horrible. It was like the hyper grace Christianity, say the sinner's prayer and you're good to go type of doctrine. And I remember we were at a buffet. Well, let me backtrack a little bit. Sorry. I remember that he would try to talk to me about the Bible, the scriptures. And, of course, him being a Christian, he didn't have great understanding either. But, he was trying to talk to me about it. And I was so scared because of 2017. I was so troubled and terrified that I was just like, shut up, don't talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Just repressed in my head. It was like almost like trauma. That's how terrified I was during 2017 about the end times and everything. And so I just wanted to run away from it. And, I remember fast forwarding to when we were at the buffet, he was like saying something similar to the effect of, you have nothing to be afraid of. Like, what are you afraid of? And as simple as that might be for some people, that's pretty much all I needed to hear at the time, is like, there's nothing to be afraid of. And so that opened the door for me to seek even harder and to feel secure and safe enough to look into it without going crazy out of fear. And that's my encouragement to a lot of people, is like, let's not scare people. Let's encourage them that they have nothing to fear, that they can seek Yahuwah in comfort and feel secure and feel good about seeking Yahuwah. And once they learn more of the truths, the end times won't be as scary, because they know that even if we die, even if we get tortured, or if we survive through it in hunger and pain, that He will carry us through and we have a reward coming. So it's like, that's the type of stuff I needed to hear, because I think at one point in 2017, I thought that, no matter what you did, you would be like, I felt like no matter what I did, I would just be like condemned. And so that's my encouragement, is like, let's encourage people and not scare them. We can tell them the truth and tell them the consequences of sin without Yahusha dying in their transgressions, yes, but like encouraging them that if they seek Yahuwah, that there's nothing to fear. And that helped me out. And so I was a Christian for about a year or so. I went from hyper grace to kind of in the middle, I think, and then I went to like super sinless perfection. It was just the whole ride. It was crazy. And pretty much what ended up happening was I knew someone, and I don't know if I should say his name, but he was into Torah. He was Messianic. I want to say Messianic Judaism, I believe. And I don't agree with Messianic Judaism, but at the time it opened my mind to a lot of the Torah. And it was great, because it was like I was a Christian, but I kind of felt like the Shabbat, the Sabbath, was for us. And it was very intriguing. And he had really good points. And so it challenged me a lot. And after seeking Yahuwah, I didn't call him Yahuwah or Yahusha. I didn't call the Messiah Yahusha at the time, or the Father Yahuwah at the time, I believe. I believe I was saying, Yeshua and things along those lines, and, the J name, So I had a lot to learn. But at the time, over time, I came into the truth of Torah. I was a Messianic for a bit. So I guess I was kind of dabbling in Judaism, kinda. And I kind of got out of that fairly quickly and just tried to not include, there's like an insect flying around. Tried not to include Judaism into my walk, and try to keep it as simple as possible by just reading the Torah for what it says, not having men's traditions, you know, not having Talmud or Mishnah or Kabbalah, but basically just not having Talmud or Kabbalah or any traditions of men, hopefully, is my goal. And just keeping it to like just the Torah, the writings, the prophets, the Gospels, and I do read the letters of the apostles, and I think those are great. You know, I also do read some extra books. Not really trying to say which ones because I don't want to start controversy right now. I don't promote them like I do the other canonized books, but I do like to study them and see what's going on there. But hopefully that answers the question of how I came out of being indoctrinated falsely by Western culture. It was definitely not overnight. It was I want to say like from 2017 to 2020. It was just a struggle. So hopefully that answers it. I hope. But yeah. Okay, next question is an intro to how you were led to the restored names. I really like this question. In my journey, not many seem to understand why it is important, but I mean, when I truly seek the Father for his name and his Messiah's name, everything changed. There is power in the testimony. Shalom. Beautiful. I love that question because I think it's pretty powerful how I got to know his name. I want to say it was in 2020. I was watching a video. I don't know if I can find it, and I don't know if it's okay to use it, but I mean, it should be fair use to use it, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to make any promises that I'll put it up or not, but if I do find it, maybe I'll put it on like a little clip. But I saw this video, I think is, and I'm not saying that I agree with him doctrinally. I'm not saying to go check him out. I don't know what he's posting now. I don't watch him. I don't think I've watched him in years. But it was this video, I believe Yahuwah can use anything. And this video put fear in my heart. And it made me feel like, man, do I know him? Like, I want to know him. Like, I want to make sure that I don't die and wake up in torment. I want to make sure that I'm truly doing this. Like, I don't know that I can say that I truly know him. And this video just kind of provoked me to like get on my knees and just cry out to him. At the time I was like fluctuating between saying Jesus and Yeshua and Jehovah, Yahweh. Like I was just unstable, very unstable. And so I cried out to him. I got on my knees and it was like an ugly cry, like, ooh, I want to know, you know, like that type of cry. And so I cried out and I think I asked him that I want to know his name. I want to know you. Like, what's your name? And after the prayer, like shortly after the prayer, I posted on Facebook, something, Jesus, something. Because again, I was fluctuating, like, I don't know if I was just interchangeably saying Yeshua, Jesus at the time. I was very unstable. I think I was saying Yahshua as well. I don't know. I was just all over the place. And sorry, my my phone was telling me I have like my storage is full, so I had to delete a lot of stuff. So hopefully I can continue. But I believe I was saying, I think I said Yeshua, Jesus, and I posted a post saying something Jesus, if not, or something like that. And someone corrected me and said it was Yahusha. And this was like, I don't even know if it was like 30 minutes after the prayer. That's how crazy the timing was. It was just crazy. And of course, that's not all I go off of why I say Yahusha and Yahuwah, but it was really awesome how that happened. And so, you know, I do consider that, and I do remember that, and I think it's powerful. And after that, I've learned a little bit of Hebrew, and just more foundation on why I say Yahuwah and Yahusha. And just, I feel like ever since, he's just been proving more and more on why that's his name. So hopefully that answers that question. And also just, I know for a lot of people, it can be very frustrating how we share the truth and they don't acknowledge it or they don't listen. But I think something that's encouraging and something that I need to think of possibly more is there's people who didn't even listen to Yahusha, the son of the Creator, the one who had a part in creating us, came to his own people and they didn't listen to him. Not only that, they killed him. He allowed it to happen, but so how much more his servants? You know, there's going to be people who don't care about his name. They don't care about his Torah, his law. And that's okay. It's frustrating. It's upsetting. It's like, how can you be so blind? Why can't you see what I'm saying? Yahuwah's giving me great points to say to this person, but they're not listening, and it's frustrating. But again, like, no one had better points than Yahusha did, and they still didn't listen to him. So hopefully that's encouraging. But yeah, next question is, when did you awoke to the truth? I believe I was awakened in 2020, I want to say. Very early 2020. I want to say late 2019, but I want to say it's safe to say 2020, around my first Passover. Next question. Where are the lost 10 tribes of Israel today? I don't know. I think they're scattered. So, I don't know. If anyone claims that they know where they are, I'd question it if I were you. I think that they're just scattered, and I think most, if not all, native-borns at this point. I believe they come in all different shapes and sizes and colors and shades, and I think that, you know, when you're scattered, you start looking like the people you're scattered among. So let's say they started off a certain color or a certain facial features or certain distinctions. I believe that once you're scattered to like China or I don't know, Europe or something, you're gonna start mixing in, or you're gonna just start looking like the people over generations. It can happen fairly quickly. I've seen certain couples that are completely different colors, and their children are like this specific blend, and they are like, let's say someone's really black and someone's really white, and then they mix together, and then their children are like tan. Let's say that tan child marries a really white person, and then their children are gonna probably look really, really white. So I just know how fast it can happen, the admixing, and so I personally don't claim that I am native born because I don't fully know. I know that might upset some people, especially people who think dark skin proves that you're native born. I don't side with that. I think that personally no one really knows. I think in Nehemiah and Ezra, after 70 years of Babylonian captivity, there was a certain people that couldn't prove their lineage, and that was only after 70 years. And I would imagine they all still kind of look like each other. So appearance alone, skin color alone, doesn't prove that you're native born. There's a lot of us that don't even know our great granddad's name, let alone our lineage that traces back to I don't know, 70 AD, when they ran and were dispersed even further. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't know, but I don't think anybody else really knows for certain, so hopefully that helps. Next question is, how much of Babylon is still in this belief system as far as most believe? I'd say there's still quite a decent amount. I don't know that I can point anything specific, but I would say there's still a lot, and I wouldn't be surprised if I'm still guilty of it as well. I think ultimately just having patience with one another and compassion with one another will be the best thing to do, so that we receive patience and compassion. That's my hope. So next question is, what do you do when you what do you do when a goyim, I'm guessing, or a Gentile, I'm guessing is what they're trying to say, a goyim, I'm not sure, I'm just gonna say Gentile, because I believe that's what they're going for, is verbally attacking you because they are unable to sway your knowledge and mindset of Yahuwah. I would say, just, I'm not perfect at this, I'm sure I can improve on this, is just show them love and compassion, and you know, barak them in Yahuwah's name, like, just, you know, Yahuwah barak you, and then afterwards, you know, rejoice that that you were attacked for sharing Yahuwah and Yahusha, and rejoice that you were able to suffer with the master, and that you were counted worthy to you know, be attacked like he was attacked, and be falsely accused like he was falsely accused. And this is something that I need to get better at, because it's very easy to get upset. It's very easy to get in the flesh and just want to come right back at them and attack them back. But Again, that's not really the ways of the master. I believe the ways of the master is turning the other cheek. Now, if someone breaks into my house and wants to like kill me, I believe that it's okay to defend myself. But if I'm out on the street preaching or sharing gospel tracts or the good news tracts, I know some people don't like the word gospel, forgive me, just sharing those things, and someone smacks me or hits me, I don't know, I feel like it would be better for me if I just stay hit, you know. Now if they're trying to kill me on the street, that's different, but if they just like smack me, then I feel like it'll be okay, you know. But I think Yahuwah will see that, and he will barak that, and he will use that mightily, compared to if someone smacks me and then I smack him back, and then he punches me, I punch him, and then we both, you know, it's just, nah. I just don't think that's what Yahuwah wants, especially if we're trying to share the truth. So that's just my opinion. Again, all of this is my opinion. I'm just a man. I'm not a teacher. I'm just an just a brother. So don't follow me. Let Yahuwah show you, confirm it in your heart, but hopefully that helps you. But I ultimately feel like if you're suffering for righteousness, then you're Baruch. And if they're attacking you and making you feel bad and coming against you, then just know that's how they treated the prophets. And I'll probably put like a verse here of what Yahusha says about this, which I think is really cool. So hopefully I'll put it up. Hopefully I'll remember. But yeah. So next question is, how long have you been playing guitar and making music? So I believe, if I remember correctly, I got my guitar on August 31st, 2021. So I believe in a few days will mark 2 years that I've been playing guitar and making music for Yahuwah, which is crazy to me, because I didn't grow up a musician. I didn't grow up a singer. I don't think I'm a great musician. I don't think I'm a great singer, but I do want to esteem Yahuwah. And, you know, I praise Yahuwah because, you know, I have been discouraged many times, and there have been people that have tried to discourage me. And despite all that, like, I praise Yahuwah that he kept me going, and I feel like the musician that I am now is way better than I was 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. And I believe that he's put a lot of special people in my life, you know, Yahusha Apprentice being one of them, and whom Yahusha chose, another one, that have been great, have been amazing achim, amazing brothers, and, you know, just learning a lot of tactics and a lot of methods and a lot more instruments, actually, just learning bass and drums and learning more about vocals and learning more about guitar, like rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and it's just been great. And I remember before meeting some of these brothers, I think when I was first getting into guitar, I wanted like an older brother that pretty much knew about guitar. I wanted an older brother that was in Yahuwah, that I can learn more about guitar from and just get better. And of course, I didn't get that right away, but as time went on, I did meet Yahusha Apprentice, which, you know, he's like about 10 years older than me. I'm 25. Well, I'm 24. I'm turning 25 soon, Yahuwah willing. I don't celebrate birthdays, by the way. I don't believe in celebrating them, but I do acknowledge the fact that I'll be a year older in a few days. So, you know, it's been great. It's just been a prayer answered. And it wasn't just guitar. It's also like bass and drums, and, you know, just being able to like make music has been such a barakah. And I praise Yahuwah that he's given us that ability to do that and to multiply talents and to bear fruit making praise music. And if it helps people, like if it encourages them and makes them feel comforted and gives them that strength to be just like, yeah, you know, and just get out there and just praise Yahuwah, or just give that strength to just obey him even when we're like just in the midst of a trial and we just want to give up or cry, and we have that music to just remember and reminisce on Yahuwah. It's awesome that that's even something that I can even try to make. And I ask Yahuwah for help a lot. I want to say almost every time. I really want to say every time, but just to be safe, I'll say I want to say a lot of the times I will ask him for help on the lyrics, ask him for help on, you know, playing the instruments. and I just praise Yahuwah, and it's all him. I know it's all him because I've seen people of the world, of the nations, who they're like, I've been playing guitar for 10 years, and like in a YouTube tutorial, and the tutorial is not super complicated, but they're like, you know, I've been playing guitar for 10 years and I still can't do this or that. And it's just like, but like Yahuwah showed me that in such a short amount of time that I know it's just him. So I praise Yahuwah for that. So hopefully that answers the question. I do remember who asked this, and I really have a lot of love for this sibling. So I'm glad they asked that. But yeah. Next question is, do you feel off the grid living is a good thing or staying put and waiting? I think whatever Yahuwah puts on your heart will be the wise thing to do. For me, I think off-grid living is awesome. I don't know if fully off-grid is awesome in my opinion. For my preferences. I do like electricity. I do like being able to flush a toilet and take a shower. However, I do know a sibling who lives practically off-grid, and it does seem like a struggle, but at the same time I see the pros, especially if, you know, tribulation happens and, you know, all these utilities and things that comfort us are taken away. I feel like these people, these siblings will have like kind of like a advantage and be more comfortable during tough times. But I do believe that whether you stay put, and this is just my opinion, I could be totally wrong, whether you stay put or you go and run, you know, somewhere completely remote and off grid, that Yahuwah's desires are gonna be done anyways. It seems like there's gonna be some people who are martyred. Maybe those are the people that stay in the cities. Maybe the people that go off grid, they don't get martyred. But it's, in my opinion, it's gonna be tough, and I pray that Yahuwah prepares all of us if we are gonna be martyred. But to be a martyr for Yahuwah and Yahusha, I believe is an honor. And you know, one of my favorite songs is a song I made with Whom Yahusha Chose. I really love that brother a lot. It's and I love this part of the song. I might play it.
We will serve our Elohim for all eternity. Even if they mock me, if they sock and rock me, if they tease and shock me, I will trust Elohim. Even if they block me, if they kill and drop me, that still won't stop me. He will resurrect me.
And it's true. It's like, you know, and it's like, even if, you know, they torture us or they kill us or they set us on fire, or they, like, you know, as dark as this sounds, even if they like kill us and our families or torture, you know, just do all this crazy stuff or starve us to death, like Yahuwah is gonna see and he's gonna reward us. And it seems like in Revelation there's gonna be people who are beheaded for Yahusha, and it's like the future seems amazing for those people, and the amount of esteem and honor that they gain by doing that is gonna be immense. And so if I'm martyred because I stay in the city, then I'm martyred because I stay in the city. And I ask for Yahuwah to help me. I ask for Yahusha to help me, to give me strength to get through it, and to hopefully go out with just belief, you know? And, you know, hopefully I have enough strength and belief to just say, Rumamu Yahuwah! But yeah, so that's where I stand. Next question. Are you happy for being among the chosen remnant? And do you share with others to know the hidden truth? I am extremely happy. I am extremely Baruch for knowing the names of Yahuwah and Yahusha, and for knowing that we should obey the Torah, and knowing that, you know, certain things are pagan and displease Yahuwah and we should stay away from those things. I don't know everything, and I have a lot of things to learn, but I believe with what I do know now, and with what I have now and what he's revealed to me, I am extremely happy, extremely Baruch, extremely joyful, extremely everything. And I praise him and I thank him for everything that he's done. And I do believe that among the remnant that we could clean things up. I see some people at each other's throats and hating one another and lacking compassion and condemning one another. And my hope is that, you know, as Yasharal, as Israel, we can fix that and help each other. Again, I fall short myself. I'm sure I do, but like we could all do better. So I hope that we have more compassion and love and right ruling and belief, because these are the weightier matters of the Torah. Of course, it's important, do you have your tzitzit on? If you feel like if you are eating clean, if you're keeping the Shabbat the best you can, there's these are important things, but they're not the weightier matters of the Torah. The weightier matters of the Torah, the weightier matters of the Torah, is the love, compassion, the right ruling, and the belief. And I feel like that is something that is sadly lacking in a lot of the remnant, Yasharal, Israel, believers, whatever you want to say. Basically, the people who love Yahuwah and Yahusha, who love the Creator, even if they don't know His name fully. But they're trying to do His commandments, and they love Him, and they love the Mashiach, they love the Messiah. Let's have compassion on one another. Even if our brother says, and I know this is not a popular opinion, and I know some people in the comments might come after me for this, but even if they still say JC, if they say Yeshua, if they say Yahshua, if they say Jehovah and Yahweh, let's show them love, and then maybe by our love and our our good works and our love for one another, maybe they'll say, hey, why do you say Yahuwah and why do you say Yahusha? I want to say that because your testimony and your conduct has shown me the light. But if we're just no, you're going to the lake of fire because you say JC or because you say this and you got a different Messiah and all, let's not go there. That's just my opinion. But I am, to answer your question, I'm very, very, very grateful. And also I want to say that I'm not always grateful, and I hate that. I want to be grateful every day. I want to understand how much of a barakah, a blessing this truly is to be in this truth, and be among the remnant. But sadly, I don't know whether it's because I'm a human, whether because my loving commitment is the dew of the morning, I believe the scripture says, it goes away fast. Just as a son of Adam, I fall short. As a son of man, a human, I fall short extremely, and I forget these amazing things, and I fail to truly remember these things and be grateful for these things. So I could do better. But to answer your question, I am very grateful. And also, I do try to share the truth with people. I feel like I could do better in that too. I do believe it would be great to get out there and maybe street preach and share tracts. And I know some people don't like that. They say it's Christian, but when I read the book of Acts, they were out there, they were sharing the truth. And just because certain Torah teachers or whatever, people that are famous, don't do it, doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. If Yahusha and the apostles were doing it, then no one can really say that you shouldn't do it. So that's just my thoughts on it. But again, just know that I don't do it every day, I don't do it every week, I don't do it every month. But ideally, the good within me that is Yahuwah and Yahusha, the good intentions and the good thoughts and the stirring up of righteous works and good works that He puts in my heart, I believe, is to go out there and try to feed the poor, to go out there and try to share tracts and street preach and be online and share the truth and ultimately being online, trying to make videos and share the truth and make songs, and that's my goal, is to exalt the name of Yahuwah and Yahusha and to spread the truth. But ultimately, I think that offline I could do better. So, yeah. And that's my encouragement to everybody. It's if Yahuwah's leading you to get out there, maybe print out some paper saying His name's Yahuwah and Yahusha and we should do the Torah, and see where it goes, and that's something that I hope to do more of, Yahuwah willing. So, pray for me. That hopefully helps me do more of that. So, yeah. Next question is, what's your favorite food, color, places you have visited, a country you would like to go to, and last but not least, who is your favorite Facebook friend? So it's a lot of questions, and I remember who asked this, and I care about them a lot. This is a very awesome sibling. So my favorite food, I kind of want to say so many, too many of my favorite foods. I want to say mac and cheese, hamburgers, burritos. Those are really great foods. Lamb is great. And I know there's a lot of people who are vegans, and hey, I don't hate on people who are vegans, but when people say it's a sin to eat meat, when they say it's a transgression to eat meat, I think that's just not scriptural, and I see that doctrine floating around. So my encouragement to people is, if someone says it's a transgression to eat meat, just remember the many scriptures of sacrifice offerings and, you know, eating the lamb on Pesach or Passover, Yahusha eating fish, Yahusha eating lamb, Yahuwah eating, I believe, cattle. In Genesis 18 with Abraham, like the creator, Elohim, has eaten meat, and I believe it's okay for us to do so too. That's just my thoughts on the matter. My favorite color, I have too many. I think black and white is a great combination. I think blue is really beautiful too. Again, too many colors. Places you have visited, yeah, I mean Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Ohio, just different places. A country I would like to go to, I'd love to, I don't know, I'd love to go to the Promised Land. That's where I would like to go. And last but not least, who is my favorite Facebook friend? Okay, next question. What woke you up to the truth? What the Ruach laid on your heart and woke you up? Or what did our Father put you through to wake you up? I think I answered this in like a previous question, but of course the person who asked this didn't know. But just a lot of, I believe, signs, just like, you know, just certain things that freaked me out that led me to Him, and just a lot of things that comforted me and brought me closer to Him. Just certain trials, you know, when things are going great, it's easy to just carry on with your life and not think about Yahuwah. But when things are horrible, I think it's easier to just come to Him. And so I feel like a lot of times when we feel depressed or down, I think I heard this from a brother, and it was I believe it's a lot of wisdom. It's like sometimes I feel like sadness and depression and loneliness can come from Yahuwah, so that we draw closer to Him. But woke me up to the truth, I answered already. So hopefully the answer is there, and because the video is getting pretty long. But yeah, and I believe that Yahuwah put a lot of things in my heart to wake me up, and I think that's just true kindness and love from Him, that He would spend so much time trying to wake up someone like me, because oftentimes I don't feel like I deserve it. I do have very wicked thoughts, you know, and I've been condemned by people, or insinuated that I would be condemned, like just people hinting that I would be condemned, a person I should say, and I've just been like insulted and things like that. And hey, I'm sure we all have been there at least one point. But you know, just to be transparent with everybody, you know, my mind, I have intrusive thoughts, and sometimes those intrusive thoughts are blasphemous thoughts towards Yahuwah and Yahusha. I cast them down. You know, Yahuwah and I have spoken about it many times over, and at this point in my life, I do have a lot of hope that He will forgive me, and so I just carry on. But yeah, don't know if that's the answer to the question, but hopefully that answers. But yeah, and hopefully that's my encouragement to everybody. It's like, even if you feel like you can't be forgiven, even if you feel like you're worthless or not worth it, like Yahuwah definitely loves you, and He will leave the 99 to find that one lost straying sheep. I believe men are the ones who don't truly care. A lot of men, not everybody, but a lot of men and a lot of women are quick to condemn. They're quick to throw you into the category of being in the lake of fire. And so I praise Yahuwah. You know, there is one cutaway that I did, I believe, with David and the prophet. And it was basically the prophet was giving him some options, because Yahuwah was going to punish David, or dude. And, you know, it's like, I think it was great what dude said, and I might just play the clip because I don't want to really paraphrase.
Now know and see what answer I take back to Him who sent me.
I am in great trouble. Please let us fall into the hand of Yahuwah, for His compassion is great, but do not let me fall into the hand of man.
But yeah, I think that's so true. It's like, I'd rather fall into the hands of Yahuwah, although His falling into the hands of the living Elohim is very terrifying. I believe through Yahusha there will be no condemnation, and I believe that He is more compassionate and merciful than men, because men and women, sadly humans, they don't have as much kindness as he does, and they don't have as much compassion, and they don't understand the hearts, and they don't understand the heart. They don't understand the human mind like Yahuwah can. He searches the hearts and the kidneys. He searches the heart and the kidneys. So I have a lot of confidence that he will review my case, and whatever he decides my fate is, that will be it. But for now, I want to try to commit my life to serving him. And if I don't make it, Yahuwah forbid, then I'd rather spend my life helping those who will. So that's where I'm at right now. Next question is, how did you come into the truth? Yahuwah Baruch you and your family. Shalom. I think I answered that, but again, the person who asked this probably didn't know. Some of these questions were from YouTube, and some of them were from Facebook. And actually one was from YouTube, I believe, and most were from Facebook, and then one was from an app called Signal, so if I remember correctly. But I believe I answered that, so I will just, suggest if the person is watching, then maybe hopefully they already got the answer from the earlier question, so praise Yahuwah if they did. But yeah. Last question is, Shalom, how will you continue setting yourself apart in these times we are living in, and what is your view towards those who are unknowing to the truth we've been awakened to? Okay, so for me, I think that how I will continue to set myself apart is just to continue reading the scriptures and trying to apply it more and more into my life, and just trying my best to be in line with the scriptures the best I can is my hope. And my view towards those who are unknowing to the truth is, at the end of the day, I feel like sadly there are some people out there that truly love the Creator, and they're trying to obey him the best they know how. And it's sad because they are not serving him in fullness. However, I believe that Yahuwah sees the hearts and the kidneys, and if that person truly desires him and they truly call out for him, he's already going to be drawing them. And I believe just them calling out to him and crying out for him is him drawing them already. And Yahuwah knows who are his, and I believe he'll lead them to him. And so for those who don't know the truth, I have a strong hope and expectancy that those who are truly his, well, I already know, I truly believe that they'll come to him. And, my hope is that even those who were not originally his, hopefully that, that they can get compassion and that they'll come, whether that's our family members or acquaintances or close friends, or just complete strangers on the streets. My hope is that they come to him. But my view is that they're just people. They feel like we do. They get sad like we do. They have goals like we do. They have dreams and aspirations like we do. They bleed just like us. If they were to face the Creator face to face, they'd probably be mortified and terrified. And so I don't think anybody truly wants to go to a lake of fire. But there are some people who I believe that they will go, sadly. But I think a lot of people who are just straight up heathens, or just they don't believe in anything, I believe that it's good to have compassion and love towards them. If we're supposed to love our enemies, how much more those who are not really our enemies? Anybody who's not for Yahusha is against us. I understand that, but I just mean, like, when I think of an enemy, I think of someone who wants to do me harm and wants to kill me or hurt me or make me feel bad. But like most people on the streets, most people at work, they'll say good morning, hello, they'll smile. If they see you're dying on the street, I would say, like, sadly there's a lot of people who just pull out a camera and watch you die and be like, like garbage. But I would say more consistently than not, there's a lot of people who would want to help you out, call the ambulance, be like, are you okay? I feel like a lot of people out there that don't know the truth, they still have some teachings from the scriptures, like basic common decency. And so for me, I'm just like, man, I just hope they come to the truth. And really quickly, You know, when someone's a really rude person, you know, whether out in traffic or in the streets, I'm not always perfect at this, but I remember one time I was coming out of an exit and there was someone behind me, and you know, coming out of this exit there was a stop sign, and so I was waiting for oncoming traffic so that I can hopefully make a right turn to get in to keep going, and the person behind me was like beeping at me, like just beeped at me if I remember correctly, and it's like, do you not see the oncoming traffic? Like, do you just want me to drive into traffic and just die just because you're impatient? Like, you know, so I was upset. But then when, you know, when I did make the turn, you know, they, of course, just zoomed right past me, you know, like, you know, impatient. But, you know, what happened after that is that they turned into, like, I think it's called the morgue, where dead people are. And so it's like, okay, in that moment, I felt like I understood why this person is being so rude and just not a great person, is because maybe they lost someone they love and they're really upset, and maybe they're not handling it the right way. But if I never saw that person turn into the morgue or whatever you want to call it, I probably would have never known. I probably would have just thought, oh, this person's just like evil or rude, like, man, forget that guy, you know, like, but no. In reality, that person's just hurting, you know. And I feel like a lot of people who are rude, or even people who are kind, I feel like behind closed doors they're crying, they feel empty, they feel unfulfilled, and a lot of people just end up just, you know, taking their own life. But I think that this is more reason to show compassion, because these are not robots, these are real people, and there might be a chance that they come to Yahuwah and it changes their complete life, but you would have probably never known, you know. So just hopefully we can try to treat people equally, despite skin, despite color, same thing, sorry, despite skin color, despite anything, despite if they're rude to us or whatever, you know, everybody has an equal shot of coming to Yahusha, coming to Yahuwah. So I would just hope that we show love to the outsiders, that we show love to the nations, those who are not in covenant with Yahuwah. I'm not referring to skin color or race right now when I say the nations. I'm speaking spiritual nations, I'm speaking spiritual Yasharal. And hopefully we can just all get along with those who are Yasharal, because a brother was telling this to me as well, and I totally agree. I was thinking about this last night, I believe. We truly are rare. You know, there is truly a remnant, like one of the siblings referred to in one of the questions, a remnant. And that's exactly what we are, a remnant. And so, like, when we treat each other horribly, it's like we are almost not valuing how rare we are. Yahuwah knows how rare we are, and we're like precious gems among common rocks. And so let's treat each other like precious gems the best we can. Again, I am not perfect at this, but it's something that I would hope to get better at. And you know, Yahusha lets us know, I believe, I'm paraphrasing, I believe, but I'll probably put the verse. It's like, they'll know we're his taught ones if we, by our love for one another. So like, let's stop getting on someone because they have a different Sabbath than us or a different understanding. Let's even stop getting on people because they have a different name. I would love to see that happen. And love one another. You know, if we're supposed to love our enemies, how much more someone who's trying to do the commands but has a different name? Or how much more someone who's trying to do the commands but has a different Sabbath? Like, how much more? So, again, I'm not perfect. That's my encouragement and my hope to see to everybody that's watching. And thank you for all the questions. And hopefully you guys have a great Shabbat, because I'm recording this at Shabbat, but maybe by the time I edit this, it'll probably be a different day. Who knows? But if you're watching this on a Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, just know that I'm saying this on the Shabbat from my understanding of the Shabbat. It would be today. I know everybody has a different understanding, or a lot of people have different understandings. Still love you. So yeah, Shabbat Shalom. No, so this is a great shirt that whom Yahusha chose made for me. So just thought this was really great. You know, he's a great artist, graphic design, drawing, really great stuff. And I extremely highly encourage you guys to check out both their channels. I mean, they really weren't really much of a part of this video, but I'll still probably put them, both their channels, in the end of the video, just because I care about them a lot. and just talking about certain testimonies and certain memories kind of reminded me a lot of those brothers. So yeah, but yeah, have a great one, guys, and just keep seeking Yahuwah and Yahusha.